Well, hello.
Hi, welcome. Good morning. Hope everyone's doing well. We are podcasting again. What is this one? I didn't write
I think
it down.
this is number 9.
Number 9.
This is number
Can
9.
you believe it? We made it to 9.
I know.
You helped me make it to 9.
We've almost made it a whole year, too. We're only a couple months away.
It's hard to believe.
It's October? Yes,
Yeah.
it is.
Time just, I think this week has been my week to realize how fast time just really travels and goes on, especially the older we get. So I am Debbie and I own the shop here in Midlothian. We are Dances with Wool, located right in the village of Midlothian, just outside of Richmond, Virginia. We welcome you. If you're local, we'd love to see you. We are a small local yarn store. We pride ourselves on just the nicest yarn you can ever imagine. And we have just a very welcoming environment. Everybody here is friendly. We welcome you. We're supportive. We're inclusive. So come on out and see us if you're in the area. If not, we're pretty much 24/7 now on our website, so you can always shop with us.
Yes, my name's Erin. I'm the store manager. Like Debbie said, we do have a website. Just about everything that's in the store is on the website for you to peruse. If you want to shop at 2 o'clock in the morning in your pajamas, you can absolutely do that. We still offer pickup at the shop if you're local. If not, we have flat rate shipping. Yep. And for those who are local, like everybody said, we are open Tuesday through Saturday, 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. is when the brick and mortar store is open. We'd love for you to come out and see us. Masks are required, regardless of your vaccination status, just because we're a fairly small shop. But otherwise, you can find us online, and you can find us all over social media as Dances with Wool RVA, Instagram, Facebook. We have a Ravelry group. We would love to see you. Obviously, you found our YouTube channel if you're watching this. And we will link our website, and everything that we talk about will be in the description box below the video. You can find all the links if you can click in anything that you want to know more about.
And speaking of Instagram, I was looking this morning. We are like very close to 3,000.
Oh, hey!
Yeah, 3,000 followers. So we're going to be talking about that soon to see what we can do to
celebrate.
Celebrate and just kind of push us a little bit over that hump. So we're thankful for all of you who follow us on social media and YouTube. So today I just want to start off by talking. We have been joking that there's just not a whole lot of bandwidth left in us right now. We went right off of crawl right into our birthday, which we'll talk about in just a second. But first of all, the crawl. Thank you to everyone who came out to see us.
So the James River Yarn Crawl.
Yeah, the James River Yarn Crawl who shopped online. There were 6 shops. What I love about just participating in this crawl are the people that we participate with. We're 6 shops from Ashland all the way to Virginia Beach. And I don't know, it's just everybody who walks in the store is so happy to be crawling and to be there and to see what you have. And it was just, I don't know, I left with a smile on my face every day. Dead tired.
Oh yes, completely brain dead tired.
But left with a smile on my face every day. And for those of you who did take the time to fill out the surveys at the end, thank you very much. Yes. We had a meeting last Monday, the 6 shop owners, and we read them all of the comments on what we needed to do to improve or what you liked about this year's crawl. We read them all, and we are putting some changes in place. That being said, we are now, let me get the date. We have save your date. We'll put it in on social media and all too, but save your date. We have decided to go back to our spring crawl. So you're not, so you're not going to have to wait a whole nother year for the James River Yarn Crawl.
Oh, yes, yay!
The dates right now, if you want to jot them down, and like I said, we'll be sending this out as a save the date reminder, but if you want to jot them down, the dates for the crawl are May the 13th through the 21st. We're going to keep it at 9 days, consistent hours, all 9 days. So we'll be, of course, talking more about that as we get to the winter and the spring. But yeah, for right now, just save your date and know that everything all your feedback, we read through them all and we're taking them all to heart. So yeah, so thank you for that.
Yes. So.
And then we went right into
birthday week. So we did celebrate 5 years, which has been amazing. Can you believe it? Can you believe it?
And the last newsletter that we did last week, I went back and I found some pictures of the store.
Those pictures were just like gobsmacking.
And to think that time, I just remember thinking, oh my gosh, we've got so much yarn and this is so great.
There's nothing.
There's nothing
honestly,
here.
that was one of the things I thought about. I looked at the one picture, I was like, there's nothing. We had no inventory. How did she open with no inventory?
Not a whole lot of fixtures, no slot wall on the wall holding yarn, none of that. And so the fact that you stuck with us.
Yes.
I was very, I looked at that and I was very thankful for that because we've grown over the 5 years, of course. But yeah, that first, oh my goodness. Yeah, we hardly had anything in the store. So yeah, it's hard to believe we were 5 years. And we had a little celebration on Tuesday, which was wonderful. We had about 40 people in the store celebrating with us. And then all week we just had some prizes and just different little promotions. So thank you for coming out and helping us celebrate. And like I said, right now, and we're podcasting today, we are dead. Tired.
Yes.
We are dead tired.
So excuse us if we stumble a little bit over anything.
Yeah, finding words.
Finding words. It's been 3 solid weeks of just go, which has been wonderful and amazing. But yeah,
and walking into a room and not know, just losing it, not knowing what you were walking in the room for.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, and even embarrassingly enough, walking in another room to get something for a customer and forgetting what you walked in the room to do.
Yeah,
it's been challenging, but we're still very thankful and blessed that we've had the last 3 weeks of just celebrations.
Absolutely.
So thank you. All right, so let's get to what you're
really here for, which is the actual content here.
Yeah. So I am wearing Humulus, and this is by Isabel Kramer. It is one I did, I want to say it's maybe 2 years ago.
I think 2 years ago.
And it is just a top-down sweater that needs to be gleaned badly. I realized it today. Let me stand up for just a minute. But it is just a crop sweater. It's got a lot of ease to it, which, as you know, I like. I will wear this over my jumper. I will wear this over jeans. I will wear it, over with a white blouse. We've talked about that before, how I really like to layer my knits. But one of the things that I loved about this sweater that I wanted to talk about with you today, because we're going into more of the
sweater season,
sweater weather.
It's
feeling
coming.
it.
The colder weather is coming. Everybody in Central Virginia, we just have to clap our hands and believe.
So I'm starting to feel it. Yep. But what I wanted to talk to you about this is keep it in just in your thoughts that you are not limited by just doing one color or 2 colors, different colors when you're doing color work. Let's say that you are going to be doing a yoke for color work on a top-down sweater, and it might call for 3 colors. You could do that, but another alternative is what I did with this one, and this is to use with your yarn, your base color or your color for your sweater, is to use spin cycle. And I meant to get one of the rolled up balls, but that's okay. But do you see how all the colors in the spin cycle just create this beautiful,
they shift
as
you go through the skein.
So if you think about it as doing a pop of color with the spin cycle on a solid background, it is, and I think I had another one I did, sorry, these two, this one would pop so pretty on like a gray.
So Spin Cycle is a company based out of Washington State. They source their wool domestically. What they do is they dye the wool roving. They have a whole mill that they process things on. They dye the wool roving different colors, and then they run it through their spinning equipment. And as they ply the colors together, you get this color shift through each of the skeins.
And
each skein is completely unique. Even though they're all technically the same colorway, the way the colors stack up with the plying process in the skein is going to change.
Yeah, it just does create these beautiful, unexpected shifts of color throughout your color work. So just kind of keep it in mind as a possibility when you're doing a top-down sweater. Now, the yarn that I did this sweater is a woolly yarn.
Yes.
It's 100% wool. It was non-superwash. And we've got a couple of alternatives for you, or a couple of suggestions for you.
Yes.
We are now a stockist for Hudson and West Forge, and soon to be Weld,
The Weld
which
will
is
be
their
here.
fingering.
Yes.
But this is their palette, and we will be carrying all the colors in the palette. But this is their palette, which would make a gorgeous sweater, whatever color you chose.
So again, Hudson and
West,
West wool is all sourced in
got
the
a great
U.S.
color.
It's a blend of merino and merino and Corriedale, which are two different breeds of sheep, but it's all non-superwash. The Forge is the worsted weight. And then we'll be getting in another month or so, we'll be getting in the Weld, which is the fingering.
Right. And like Erin said, non-superwash. So, you know, it's going to give you that woolly feel. But it's not scratchy on my skin, really.
Not at all. Well, no, it's merino and Corriedale are both fairly soft wool fibers.
So it's just been I knitted a sweater with this. I did cuffle. I think I showed it to you the last time we podcasted. And I absolutely loved the yarn. It has a thick and thin to it. It's very minimally processed.
Yes.
So, it was just a pleasure to knit with. So this would be one alternative for
a sweater like Humulus. Yeah.
You
and
could
so
do...
the spin cycle comes in 2 weights as well. Dream State is the worsted weight. We also have dyed in the wool, which is sport. But it's a little bit, the spin cycle wools are a little bit flexible in terms of their gauge. So you could use the Dream State with a worsted or with a DK. You could put the dyed in the wool sport together with a DK or a fingering. You've got a little bit of options there.
Yeah, and I don't think I pulled this one out. Look at that with this.
Yeah.
You know, if you cannot wear yellow, this is a great way to do it, to have your, the main color of your sweater with just your color work in the yellow, so it wouldn't be next to your face. Those of you who cannot wear yellow, it's a great way to use it if you love yellow, but can't do it. Another alternative would be our Fennec from Little Fox Yarn. And look at those colors. The same colors that you've come to love with Amy's yarn. Now on a new base.
On a new 100% non-superwash merino base. So again, very beautiful. Amy calls this the perfect sweater yarn.
It is. I believe it is.
Gorgeous stitch definition. And like I said, the core palette of 21 colors that we are now beginning to carry across Amy's bases in the shop. So again, this would be a gorgeous choice for Humulus or any other color work worsted weight sweater.
And like Erin said, we are now going to be one of a flagship store for Little Fox Yarn, so we will be carrying this core palette of 21 colors and several bases.
Yes.
That will be so we're excited. We've already, one of the bases that we're going to tell you about in just a minute, we've sold so much of it, it's crazy. We have to reorder.
Yep. Little Fox is local to us. Amy lives in Mechanicsville. So the not too terribly far away from the shop, and I think was she like one of the first indie dyers?
She was the first
that you had in
before I even opened the store. I remember she was an interior designer by trade, and I remember meeting her in her office in Scott's Edition, and she had just a few colors like on a shelf that she was at that point dyeing, and it was on a DK base and a fingering base, her Vixen. Yeah. Which ended up, the Vixen to this day, after 5 years, is still the best-selling yarn in the store. Yeah. If that tells you anything. You just can't, the colors are just gorgeous. So, yeah. So Humulus.
So Humulus is which is an older sweater pattern because Debbie is in my boat that I was in last time, which is she had nothing finished to show you recently.
So that's why I put this on.
But we wanted to talk to you about.
Yeah. And nice Isabel Kramer does have other colors. She's just a great sweater,
wonderful sweater designer,
and she does all these beautiful.
But this is a nice, if you don't have a lot of experience in color work, if you want to get into it, this is a good first. It's a good solid pattern, easy to do.
Maybe I'll take this to Rhinebeck with me because I do not have a Rhinebeck sweater.
If you could, I don't know. It's going to be chilly on Sunday. Oh, we'll get to Rhinebeck in a minute.
We will, yeah. All right, so Erin, tell us
But
what
I
you're
have a
wearing.
finished
Yay.
object. Well, I have a finished object because if you watched during the yarn crawl, we did our weekly Inspire Me. We usually do that on Friday mornings. We did an Inspire Me every single morning for 9 days straight, which was great.
No, Erin did a Inspire Me every morning.
But I was
for 9
talking about
days.
being brain dead. I was brain dead by the end. But this was the last Inspire Me. So I was literally in a race. I cast this on, I think, 2 days before the crawl started. And I was in a race to get it done by the time that we had the end. And I forgot to print up the first page of the pattern. But this is Forever and Ever by Joji Locatelli. This is this beautiful cowl infinity scarf pattern. This is part of her Ready for Fall collection that she launched at the beginning of last month. And this is knit in a mohair silk lace weight blend held double. So it's this really thick, squishy cowl. It's done. It's very simple. This is really, really very, very simple cables. You only do one cable cross per pattern repeat on each end. And then in the middle, there's this lace with these little baubles. It's a very, very simple pattern, like all of Joji's patterns. It's very well written. I made it a little bit shorter, the pattern called for, because I knew I didn't want to ever wear this doubled over around my neck. So the pattern is written for it to be a little bit longer, would hang like about here so that you could wear it long or you could double it up. And I knew I just wanted it to hang in like a single loop. So I cut about 4 repeats of the pattern out to make it that way. She has it written for 4 colors. You could also do it in just one color if you wanted to, but it's really, it was
Beautiful.
Lovely, super easy. This was TV knitting. It was very, very simple to do, and you do it on big needles. It took, just a few days really to knit. I did mine, these are not the colors I used, but I did mine out of the Biche Bouche Le Petit Silk and Mohair that we have. We've got a whole ton of colors. I just pulled
together.
3.
Yeah.
I just pulled 3
You pulled
colors
3 good ones.
randomly.
Yeah.
But we have lots and lots of colors. This is what I use to make mine. We also have the, of course, everybody's favorite, the Shibui Silk Cloud. So this would be another option.
This is actually coming across red on the computer, but it is hot.
It is hot pink.
Beautiful.
So again, I just pulled 3 random colors just to show you what, but this would be another one that you could use. Or if you're thinking, I love that, but I can't wear mohair, it makes me itch, we have got an alternative, another little fox yarn. This is Amy's Nuage base, which is a Surrey alpaca silk, heavy lace weight. And so this would be another fabulous option if you would love to knit this, but you just can't wear mohair.
One of my favorite colors. This is
know,
mini pearl. It goes with so many colors.
Look at that. So again, you could do it in 4 colors, or you could do it in just 1 color. If you like the look of it, but you're like, I don't go in for all that fuzzy stuff. I don't know why people love to knit with that. You could do it in just a DK weight. Joji gives you a couple of different options in the pattern. She walks you through. But this is Forever and Ever. I love it. I think it's just the right amount of squish and fuzz, and I just really, really enjoyed making it. So.
And one note about that nuage is Amy developed that yarn and started dyeing on that base because she has allergic reactions.
Yes, to mohair. She can't work with mohair.
But she said this she can wear all day long and never have anything.
Oh, absolutely.
So that is, a testimonial from someone who knows. So absolutely. So that's a good alternative.
I have a sweater that I did with the nuage. So I actually have a finished object to show you. I was very excited.
I was going to say, because you didn't last month, did you?
No, I did not. Did not.
I'm only laughing because she just looked at me last month and said, "How could you knit all of that in a month?" And I don't know. And then this month I have nothing.
Nothing. Yeah.
So that tells you how close everything was to being bound off last month.
Yeah, this is true.
And then I was starting
Time
over.
was on your side.
Yeah, yeah.
But you got some whips. What whips do you have to show us?
Well, the first whip, and I do want to say this is the reason I don't have anything.
Because you've been very good.
I have been trying to stay up with my homework for the Even Star. This is it. I have 8 rows to go.
You're almost done with chart 3.
For-
So Even Star is our year-long knit-along for this year. If you're not familiar, we do a skill builder year-long knit-along every year. This year is Even Star, so we are doing Even Star is a very large pie shawl, lace pie shawl. So we've been learning about knitting pie shawls, the mechanics of the construction of how that works, knitting out from the center, out in the round. We've been learning about charts. We've been learning about beading. You've been very, very good. Mine is in a bag, shoved in the corner because I've already made one that I was just kind of making a second one.
To keep up with us.
Nah, I haven't even been trying. I just wanted to make another one. I've just been using the little pieces, demo pieces for my support sessions. But
so Erin's been doing the support sessions, and I've been working on it. And I think, and I know you'll agree with me, the year-long knit-along, it gives us a year to do this.
Yes.
Which is wonderful because you can work on other things, and the homework is kind of chunked.
Yeah.
So you don't have the whole thing or see how far you can go homework assignment. It's just like in little pieces. Chart 1 this month, chart 2 this month. And so I've been trying to keep up with the homework. This is not something I would have done. And I think that's the nice thing about our year-long knit-alongs, because last year, the sweater that we did for our year-long knit-along last year was not something I would do. But I can tell you, this is not fun. Okay?
It's not that it's not fun. Let's
for
rephrase.
no. For me, it's not fun. But it is satisfying.
Yes.
It is, and when I say not fun, it is not TV knitting. It's something I really have to concentrate on. I have all these repeats in here. And, I put stitch markers at every repeat, and when I knit, and there's 500 and some stitches
560.
So I knit 22 stitches, and then after I get to this marker, I'm 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, making sure I have 22 stitches because it's lace knitting. There's a lot of yarn overs, there's a lot of twisted stitches. So for me, that has not been fun.
Right.
But it is so satisfying, and like I said, it's not something, if I was knitting this and just had started it, it would be in a bag right now. And it would be in timeout. Yes. But I have really been motivated to keep up with the homework. Yeah. And every single lesson that Erin has done, support session, I've learned something new. So I am so glad I did it. Saying that, I encourage anyone, we do these every year, our year-long knit-alongs. We'll be doing something next year. You'll be hearing about that in the weeks ahead. But if it's something, and I don't want you to ever look at a project and think, oh, I can't never do that. Because it is broken down into chunks. You learn. Erin does a lot of support videos along with the actual, support lesson. So it is doable. You can do it. But I'm going to love it when it's done. But I try to do, when you've got 560 some stitches on the needle, it takes me an hour to get around. And that's counting, every 22 to make sure I have the 22. It takes me an hour to get around. So every night I've been trying to do two rows. So that's 2 hours worth of knitting on this. So it has taken.
But you're so close.
Yeah.
You're close to the border. Yeah. The border is not 560 stitches. It's only like 20 at a time. So that's nice.
So I have been keeping up with that, but that's the reason I haven't got it. I'm not trying to find excuses, but seriously, that's the reason I have not.
You're trying to be good and committed to working on that.
Right.
And then you do have another project.
I do.
When you can't look at lace anymore.
No. And I do work on this. This is the one I carry with me when I go places. This is the one, although it's getting harder to even do that now. Because this is the Bobby. This is one that many of us fell in love with at the
Little Fox Trunk Show back this summer. This sweater made quite a sensation.
Yeah, it looked good on everybody who tried it on. So basically what you're doing with this sweater, it is a boxy, you hold your hands out here, your sweater's probably going to come, it's a boxy look, so a layering piece. Or she has it over jeans, which is also nice. But you will see that it's knit in the round until you get up to the sleeve divide, and then you're going to knit the front, and then you're going to knit the back. And then you're just going to, do some seaming, and then adding for the little bit. It's got, you
It's
can't
a
really
little
see
bit
it,
of
a
a
little bit of
sleeve.
sleeve.
Because it's a drop shoulder, so the sleeves are not long.
So this.
Oh wow, you've made a lot of progress.
Oh, I have. I'm almost done with the front.
Yeah.
So here is mine. It is done in the Fennec. I'm sorry, Willow.
Mm-hmm.
Her Willow, which is her hemp and merino base. Little fox. It is that.
Mm-hmm. So this is a 70% organic merino, 30% hemp base. So the hemp does not take the dye and creates this halo on the yarn. And so the it's sport weight, really, really beautiful, light. This is a light
It
yarn,
is a very light yarn.
the way it's been spun.
Yeah. So
And we have
this should have been off the needles by now, but it's not. But it
we have
is
in
getting. It
lots
will
and
be
lots
next.
of colors.
Yeah,
Yes.
but we've got some really pretty colors.
Beautiful colors.
I've seen-
Again, the same 21 color palette that we have across other bases.
This
We
is
have
one
it.
that's actually being done now. This is Raven's Wing, and it's got the stripes in pink. I've seen a customer working on that. It's
yeah.
beautiful. But
Tons.
yeah, tons of possibilities.
Some possibilities.
This has been another one we've seen.
So
Let's see.
lots and
Yeah,
lots
there we go.
of beautiful colors in the Willow.
So you see, like Erin's talking about, you see those white flecks in there, and that's the linen that doesn't take the dye.
Hemp.
Or sorry, the hemp that doesn't take the dye.
Yeah.
Which linen doesn't either, but
Yeah. This
Yeah.
is a plain. It's a plain
Plant.
fiber. Mhm.
all right. So that's me. What little I have.
So what am I working? So I had this little cow. This is it, because my Rhinebeck sweater's almost done. I'm gonna take this off for a second.
Yeah, I know you're hot in that anyway.
Almost there, almost done. I have sleeves, I have button bands, and so all I have left to do is cut the sweater open. So this is a sweater that I have made to wear to Rhinebeck, which, if you're not familiar, is the is the New York Sheep and Wool Festival. It kicks off this weekend, and tradition is to make a sweater to go to Rhinebeck. And so, because I'm a glutton for punishment and I can't do anything easy, I took it into my head this summer that I was going to make my own sweater pattern. Why pick something and make it easy when you can,
But tell them what you picked.
do a self-drafted pattern. So this is a top-down sweater. I did knit it in the round, but I am going to cut my sweater open to create a cardigan. And I'm going to be doing some filming here this week as I do this process, and we'll put it up on the YouTube and up on social media so you can, see what I'm talking about. But I used
You see the spiders?
spider stitch pattern out of one of the Barbara Walker stitch treasuries, and I was inspired by a couple of patterns that I'll link, sock patterns that I link below. So this is my spider sweater.
So pretty.
So the yarn is unfortunately by a dyer who's been out of business for a little while, but Spirit Trail Fiber Works. She was a Virginia dyer. And so I have done my whole sweater. I have knit my 2 sleeves. I'll pop it on for a second. I've knit my 2 sleeves, and I have done my button bands in preparation to reinforce and then cut my steek so that I will have a cardigan.
Yeah.
So I've been keeping notes on my Ravelry page, and I'll link that down below so that you can take a look. I am not going to write a pattern.
Yeah, she's told several people that.
All right, I just want to point that
She
out.
didn't
I'm
write
not
it
a
down as
pattern.
she was going.
I'm not a pattern writer, and I did a lot of let me try this on as I went to make adjustments. I did make the neckband a little bit too big. I'm going to fix that, and I'll talk about that in my pattern notes. What I'm going to do to fix that. But this is my sweater. It's a little bit cropped, so I'm going to wear it over top of other things. But this is the steek I'm getting ready to cut. So.
What
It's
she
these
did,
stitches
yeah.
right here in the middle, these stockinette stitch, and I've got the center stitch marked where I'm going to be cutting is where you see all the stitch markers. Got my 2 button bands
Which
done.
she picked up stitches.
I picked up stitches, and went ahead and knit my button bands because I want to be done when I cut this thing.
And that's a great idea. There's several ways you can steek, but this is a great idea for cutting it after you do your button band.
Yeah. So this is where this green yarn is where my buttons are going to go. And so I did that so I could do my corresponding buttonholes on the other side. And I will show you my buttons. I'm pretty sure I
Oh, these buttons.
stuck them in here so that you can see
I
them.
know.
So Deidre Scogan of Idlewild. If you are familiar, Deidre, we love her. She's a local maker, does all kinds of buttons and things. And I talked to her back this summer about how I needed special buttons for my spider sweater. And so she made me spider buttons to go on my spider sweater.
That's awesome.
And I have glow-in-the-dark embroidery thread that I'm going to put them on with. Because at this point, it's a theme and I'm embracing it. So these will be my spider sweater buttons. So I still have to put these on. But the good news is that I'm not going to be cutting this in the hotel room on Friday night.
Like she thought.
Last week, I was convinced that's what was going to be happening.
Yep.
But no. I will have it all done. It will all be nice and neat and tidy and done in time for my departure to Rhinebeck, which will be Thursday morning. So very excited. Like I said, watch out on social media and watch YouTube because there's going to be some videos going up. I'm going to film the process so that you guys can see if you're curious about how this is all going to work. I will show you.
Yeah. Well, you're at the finish line now.
I'm at the finish line. Very relieved yesterday when I picked up and knit those 2 button bands. I have to tell you, I'm like, whew, okay, this is going to work. It's all going to work.
You can see the end. Yep.
All right. So you want to talk about what you're going to cast on next?
I think so.
Okay.
Once I get through the homework with my Even Star, I may just kind of give myself a break and just not do it for a little while.
Yeah. Take a little bit of a break.
Take a little bit of break. So my next project is, I picked this out during the Little Fox Trunk Show, actually. My next project is White Russian. It is by Baby Cocktails.
Thea Coleman.
She is the White Russian name, or the name for White Russian. She names a lot of her patterns after cocktails.
Does she include a recipe in some? I think some of her
I
patterns.
think most of her patterns she includes a recipe.
The recipe to make the cocktail.
This is the back.
Yes. This is such a pretty sweater.
It is. What I love about it is it's just cropped. She has. This is actually a pattern that she has re-released.
Yes.
Here's the front of it on this.
This was one of her original patterns, I think.
Yeah.
But she's updated it.
She's updated it. I think it had a turtleneck before, maybe. But she's updated it into just a simple top-down sweater. But I love the detail of it. I don't have any. I just don't have anything like this. So I thought, well, that'll be pretty as a layering piece, as something to wear over a dress or over jeans. But she has given you all kinds of modifications within the pattern. For example, what if you want shaping on the sweater? She's given you modifications for how to shape. If you want the yoke a little bit deeper, she's given you modifications on how to do that. What if you want more sleeve, and she's given you modifications for that.
She writes a beautiful
pattern. She does. And so I'm anxious to start this. So I can't wait. I had picked up, this is one of my favorite colors that Amy does. It is blue, I know.
It's okay, I'm not. You haven't done a blue sweater for a while.
For a while. This is Galway Girl. This is her True Wash DK. It is absolutely beautiful. It is the same as the Fennec in that it is a washable non-superwash.
I think it's technically a little bit different than the Fennec.
Is
The Fennec is a traditional non-superwash. It has not been treated with the GOTS certified compound.
Okay, my mistake.
Right.
I thought it was the same thing.
No,
just in DK.
It's a little bit. No, it's a totally different base. So this is, it's not superwash treated wool. If you're not familiar let's talk what superwash means.
Yeah.
So all wool fibers have scales on the outside of the individual pieces of fiber. And so that's what causes wool to felt when you apply moisture and heat and agitation. The wool felts because the individual scales cling on to each other. So a superwash wool has been treated. There's a couple different processes that they can do to remove
the
scales. You
Excuse
can
me,
go
that's our
you can go
UPS.
get the UPS guy. I'll keep talking. So it's been treated, there's a couple different processes to remove the scales from the outside of the fiber, and that then allows you can put it in the washing machine, always gentle cycle, cold water. Do not use a traditional detergent like Tide. You do want to use a wool wash, that's designed specifically for wool, but it allows you to do that because the scales have been removed, and so that they won't clean on, the individual stitches won't stick to each other. A non-superwash wool, like Fennec, has not had that happen. So it has not been treated. There are still scales on the outside of the fiber. So if you were to take Fennec and put it in the washing machine, even on delicate cycle with cold water and a wool wash, it's going to felt because you've applied water and agitation to it, and the scales are still present on the outside of the individual fibers. So Fennec, or a non-superwash wool like Forge, will felt. The True Wash, Amy's True Wash base, has been treated with a GOTS certified compound. So it's an organic compound that basically is just going to put it like a coating, if you want to think about it that way, over the scales. So they will not cling to each other as much. You can put it in the washing machine, cold water, delicate cycle, no Tide. We have some wool washes that you could use. You could do that with the True Wash DK. So it's a little bit, it's going to help prevent it from felting. You don't have to worry about it quite so much. It's going to be a little bit, you don't have to be quite as careful with it as you would with something non-superwash like the Fennec, but it is not true superwash because the scales are still present on the outside of the wool fibers. There's your science lesson for today.
Yeah, I learned something. But yeah,
Yes.
so this is what my next sweater's
So
gonna
True
be.
Wash we have coming. We don't have the True Wash base currently in the shop, but it is coming to us. Amy is currently getting ready to vend at Rhinebeck, so she will come back from that weekend, and then we'll hopefully,
we'll get
not
all
too
time.
terribly long, we'll have our True Wash.
Yeah. So anyway, yes, we're excited to get that, but I am also excited to cast on my next
Yes,
project.
it's
So
going to be pretty.
I do have just one more thing that I have to get on the needles, and it's going to be one of those that's really quick, probably just a few days, and that is I still have one kit left from my, oh gosh, it's just this, what am I saying?
I'm not sure.
See, this is what I'm talking about.
I'm trying to interpret.
Okay,
You have
the really
something-
bulky yarn.
Something that you have left that you bought at...
Yes, at yeah, I know
Vogue.
my words. No,
Okay, no,
not my words.
Not Vogue.
The petal cardigan, the big petal cardigan.
Knit collage. You
Thank
have
you.
one. Okay, you have one
I have one
kit
project left
from the
knit
from the
Oh my
spring
God.
knit collage.
Yes, and
knit-along. You've got one thing
one
left.
thing left,
to do.
and that's only going to take me a few days because it's one
Okay.
color. It's not multiple colors, and I'm going to
and
get
it's
that
on
one.
like size 15.
And I'm
needles.
going to have that for next month, just so that I can say I've been really knitting.
There you go.
So yeah,
all
sorry
right.
about that.
It's okay. I just had to
this
find
is
you.
what I'm talking about. I cannot find words. So
So I don't have any game plan to cast anything on because
you're going to cast on what you buy.
right. So we'll talk about that in a second. So let's talk about new in the shop. I think we covered the Fennec and the Willow from Little Fox. We covered the Hudson and West Forge. So we've talked about some things. Let's show this. You want to take a couple of those?
Yeah, those of
So
you who
this
are
is something new
in love with felted tweed
from Rowan.
from Rowan, this is their newest product.
Yep.
It's called Colors.
So it's the felted tweed that you know and love, DK weight, blend of merino wool and alpaca with viscose with the little tweedy bits. But this is a new product. This has a color shift within the balls. Sometimes some of them it's hard to see it.
This one you can see the blue
Yeah.
and green.
So it's got a color shift through the ball. So it's the same DK weights, 191 yards per ball, the way it's always been. But when you use the ball and knit through it, it's got these beautiful color shifts. So
Now
this
that
is
one
the
is
scallop cowl.
this
This is
one.
one of the patterns written to go with felted tweed color.
It takes 2 balls.
This
to do the-
cowl takes 2 balls. You could make it. You had plenty. The sample knitter had yarn. She could have made it another 2 or 3 inches wider. She just knit to the pattern. But so you could totally make it wider if you wanted to. This would be a great gift.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very simple. She said it took her just a couple of days. Easy knitting. And just pick 2 balls of whatever
And
color.
it drapes nicely.
And it drapes beautifully. So that's new. The Rowan Felted Tweed is on our website under DK, and you can find that. And then the scallop, we'll link the pattern to the scallop cowl on Ravelry. But yep, 2 balls makes this cowl. So that's one that we have. That's something new in. We talked about this during the crawl, but we have Parties of 5 in. So this is a fun product from Sweet Georgia, who's a dyer out of Canada. These are 5 mini skein sets that they do on their Tough Love sock base. So there's 105 yards per mini skein, and then there's 5 in the set. So there's like 530 yards per mini skein set. So they do them in all kinds of fun. They do them in gradients. They do them in multicolors. We have a lot of these. I just pulled a few. We have more colors than this. Sets. These are available on our website. And the pattern that I pulled was called Aka, which is this little cowl pattern by Hilary Smith Callis. It's knit flat and then seamed. It's designed specifically for 5 mini skein sets. I think she actually designed it to go with the Sweet Georgia. But it just creates this cute little accessory piece. Gives you just a little, kind of makes it look like you're wearing a shawlette without having to futz with draping it around. So I made this a couple of years ago. I really enjoyed doing it. So that is on our website. Again, this would be another really great gift piece. I know we're talking about gift knitting, but it's the middle of October, you guys. So we'll probably be talking more and more over the coming weeks about fun gift pieces. So this would be another great, easy. Or this would be a lovely gift for you to give a knitter or crocheter friend in your life. Parties of 5 are beautifully packaged, so that would make a great gift to give somebody too.
And also, speaking of parties of 5, how about a party of 12? With our Rich Hill bundle, and I didn't bring that over, did I? Okay. With
I'll
our
go
Rich,
grab one.
you want to go grab one? With our Rich Hill bundle, we have a local designer who approached us about using the bundle to design a wrap, and it's Allison from Freckles and Pearls. She fell in love with our bundle, took it home, and just started designing. I wish we had the sample here in the shop for you to see right now, but it is traveling.
Yes, it is.
And we'll tell you about that in just a second. But it is traveling. It is now in Williamsburg.
At the Flying Needles.
At the Flying Needles, yep.
But this is the 12 color palette, Rich Hill yarns. They are dyed exclusively for us. And they are all inspired by and named after Richmond City landmarks. Yep. So the bundle has the 12 colors, and so you could one bundle would make the River City wrap, which is beautiful.
River City wrap.
Fun.
She wrote it for the bundle, so that is we'll have it back next week.
We'll have it back
so you can actually see what it looks like made up. But we have the bundles available on our website and in the shops. So.
And it's traveling because currently, right now, we are celebrating 5 years this week. So is the Flying Needles, which is a yarn store in Williamsburg, Virginia. You're probably familiar with it if you shop the Yarn Crawl because it's one of the shops that's on the crawl. And so we did a swap with Susan Dickerson, who owns the Flying Needles. We sent her a bunch of Rich Hill yarns, and then she sent us a bunch of Robin's Promise, which is her indie dye company. Tons. I mean, there's so much yarn in the shop, you guys.
Oh, what did we say?
Hundreds, 600 skeins. I don't know, something insane like that.
Close to 600 skeins of yarn. It was insane.
It was nuts when we were unpacking it, but
gorgeous.
It is beautiful. She sent us fingering weight and DK. She sent us mini skein sets, all kinds of gorgeous samples. So that is in the store this week through Thursday, October 14th.
Yeah. And the reason we're packing it up early, and because it will go back
you can shop that. So you can shop it in the shop. It's not listed on our website because we don't ever put trunk shows on the website because they're not our yarn. But you can always book a virtual shopping appointment with us. That's the best way to shop things like trunk shows that we don't list on the website. You can book that right on our website. We do those on Zoom. They're very successful. We're happy to walk you around, show you things like the Robin's Promise trunk show.
Yeah.
And yes, it is being packed up on Thursday. You are used to our normal format for trunk shows is we have them in for a full week. We kicked off Robin's Promise last Friday, but we're packing it up on Thursday to go back to Susan because we're going to Rhinebeck. So the New York Sheep and Wool Festival is this weekend. It kicks off, it's Saturday and Sunday, but there are pre-party events kicking off on Friday. And so most of the staff is going to go this year to Rhinebeck. So the shop, the brick and mortar shop, is going to be closed on Friday and Saturday this week. All right, we're going to try to start to communicating this all over the place because we don't want anybody to be caught off guard. We are going to be closed. The brick and mortar shop will be closed Friday and Saturday, but do not despair because of course we do have our website.
We do.
And we know not everybody can go to Rhinebeck. You know, this is our first time going. We've never been before. We know there's a lot of FOMO out there with Rhinebeck, so we are going to have a special Gone to Rhinebeck weekend for you on the website. We're going to have discounts and kits and all kinds of fun things. We don't want to reveal too much just yet, but keep an eye out on social media and subscribe to our newsletter. This will be a great time because there will be a special edition newsletter that will go out on Thursday evening.
I'll put it out probably Thursday evening. That's going to give you all the details about what's going to be going on the website this weekend. So this is a good time to sign up. But we'll have it everywhere, social media, everywhere. I've got the newsletter today mostly written, but I could go back and put it in some of the newsletter today. But we'll and then send it out again as a reminder. Yeah. So we go. We'll also be taking our camera with us through Rhinebeck. So we'll be hopefully there'll be a YouTube video. Hoping to learn a little bit of editing and do a YouTube video. But we'll all be live on our social media pages. I'm sure I'll go live on Facebook. I'll go live on Instagram. You'll be able to follow along with us, even if you can't be there physically. You can be there in spirit. And so we are absolutely going to do that. But yes, the brick and mortar store will be closed Friday and Saturday, October 15th and 16th. Okay? Please don't come and try the door because then you'll be sad because it'll be locked. But we're going to get the word out too. So please help us share that word if you're talking with anybody who is on our social media or is one of our customers this week. The other thing is brand new this year. We just want to kind of give you a heads up about it. New event coming in November. Very excited. And we will have the store closed for this too, just because we want to foster that community event where we ask you, instead of seeing us here at the store, to come see us at another location. We'll be vending. We are going to be vending and we're excited. It's not going to be a big store for us, but it's going to be a little pop-up shop for us and along with other people in the fiber arts. So this is the James River Cellars Winery Yarn Ball. Yay! It's going to be taking place at James River Cellars or Winery, and that's near Ashland. And they're going to have an afternoon from 12 to 5. This is going to be on November the 20th. It's a Saturday. And it's going to be from 12 to 5. And they're going to have indoor, outdoor seating. They're going to have slushies, wine tastings. There'll be a food truck. And I think they do some like cheese and things, plates and things, small plates. And then they're going to be vendors. And if you want to sit outside and just kind of sit with friends, bring your own chairs and just have sit out there and enjoy your wine and your vendors and your knitting and crochet and just hang out. So it's going to be fun. So put that on your calendar, November 20th. We will talk to you closer to that event, but we are going to be closed that day and encourage you to come visit us at the James River Winery Cellars. So it's going to be great. I'm looking forward to it. It'll be fun. And of course, as we're talking about November already, because it's the middle of October, people have been asking. Yes, Black Friday is coming. Black Friday, Small Business Saturday. We're still hammering out the details about how exactly everything's going to be going on. Probably at this point, there'll be both in-store as well as online components
to these sales, but the biggest shopping of weekend of the year is coming. We will be participating. Stay tuned for more details.
And we're just working out the format of this because we don't want the 6 o'clock rush we get in here in store because of COVID still. We don't want that many people in the store because it's usually a crazy place.
Madhouse.
Between 6 and 7. So we'll be doing a combination of both, virtual and in person. So just stay tuned. We're still hammering out the details for that because as you remember, last year was all virtual.
It was all online. It was all virtual.
So since we're doing both this year, we just have to work out a few of the details. So we'll be giving you that information coming up soon. So that's pretty much it today.
That's pretty much it we have for you
Every
today.
time we think we don't have a whole lot to say.
And we're like, oh, it's going to be such a short podcast. And then we sit here and talk for an hour.
I know. But it's been fun.
I'm so excited. I can't wait to cut this sweater open.
I know. We'll be sure to take lots of pictures of
Oh
it
yeah,
when
I'll
when-
be there'll be
when
lots of
she's wearing
videos.
it.
I may go live on Instagram when I'm cutting this. We'll see. I'm excited. I can't wait.
That's great. Yeah. I'm so excited for you because that's your own design and everything. That's so unique. You're going to be, we've got to go find Christy.
Well, my 15-year-old has declared I'm going to have the coolest sweater at Rhinebeck. And if my 15-year-old
says that
with her blue dyed hair and everything says that, then you know it's true.
Then you know it's true. But we'll keep you posted.
Yes.
But thanks for spending an hour with us today and watching our podcast. Just a couple of reminders on how to find us. We are all over social media at Dances with Wool, RVA. For Richmond, Virginia. So Dances with Wool, RVA. And you can also, again, sign up for our YouTube channel to get also the notifications.
So hit the subscribe button and then hit the little bell.
You'll want to do that.
Next to, yes, you will. This is the time. If you are not subscribed to our YouTube channel, this is the moment. Hit that subscribe button and hit that bell because there's going to be so much stuff going up probably over the course of this weekend.
With Rhinebeck.
You're not going to want to miss out on things.
Yeah, you want to be living
Subscribe to our
vicariously
newsletter.
through our stuff.
Follow us on social media. This is the moment, guys. Absolutely.
So, and also our Inspire Me Fridays, of course, this weekend we will not be having one.
I still might go live on Facebook. Maybe I'll go live on Facebook from Indie Untangled. Would you guys like that at 11 a.m.? Ooh, I should do that.
You should do that.
I'll go live from Indie Untangled and walk you around.
So you'll be seeing a preview of it, not a preview, but an actual video of Indie Untangled and what that's like.
Yeah.
So, that'll be fun.
I will. That's what I'm going to do.
I will be in the car traveling up there Friday, so she will be there enjoying Indie Untangled. All of our staff pretty much is going.
Just about, which is why the shop is closing, because we're like, well,
you know what? Time's short. I mean, I think we learned that the last couple of years. When you have these opportunities, you just kind of grab them and don't worry about it. You know, we're just going to make it work for the store, but we're going to go and enjoy ourselves. So, So, that's it for today. Thank you for joining us, and we hope to see you soon.
Yeah, and so we'll be back next month with the next episode of This Is So Not a Podcast.
We'll have lots of holiday ideas.
We'll have tons. Next one's going to be Chock-a-Block because we'll have all kinds of things to talk about.
You want to get,
You're going to want to have like a cup of coffee or something to watch with. All right, everybody.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.